With New Year's upon us, we're kind of reflecting on the year we've had, and we're looking ahead to the year in front of us. And I suppose, big ideas like promise and potential, purpose, plans, and I think productivity as well, like how productive were we in the year before, and how productive will we be in the year ahead. Those are the kind of thoughts that are kind of bouncing around our head a lot. And you know what? Jesus had a lot to say about all these different, big ideas. And because he was a great storyteller, he used a lot of agricultural language to kind of simplify and symbolize God's thoughts on these different things. He spoke about sheep and shepherds and goats and gardens and gates and seeds and trees and vines. And one of the things he says is of how he is the true vine and God the Father is the vineyard keeper. Jesus speaks of life being a journey, from seed to sapling, from vine to grape, and from vine to wine. And we want to look and learn at these symbols, beginning with the symbol of the seed. Well, what is a seed, if it's not planted? An unplanted seed is nothing more than constrained potential. And that can be us, it's comfortable being a seed. We're in the kind of, we're in the gardener's bag amongst many other seeds, in the safety and security of the great gardener's hand. And we can sort of sit from there and we can look at our, future life, and we can spend our whole life thinking about how much promise and potential we have and all the great things we're going to do, but never actually do them. We only will ever do them unless we're actually planted. So you can understand, why a seed doesn't, want to be planted. Why would you want to put me in this mucky and miry place called earth? But God the Father, the great vineyard keeper, he plucked Jesus out of heaven and he planted him in earth. Why would he treat us any differently? Many of us struggle with our purpose in life because we don't grasp that we've not just been planted, but we've been placed by the vine keeper. Paul puts it this way. He says, from one man, he has made every nation of men to live all over the earth and has determined their appointed times and the boundaries of where they live, so that they might seek God and perhaps they might reach out and find him, though he's not far from us. Watching videos of vine keepers dressing vines and sowing seed, they're not just sort of scattered or fired into the ground, but they're placed with great care and intention, ensuring that each seed or grapevine was being planted with its future growth in mind. Sufficient root and fruit space, adequate space for tilling and tunneling. In that we see a picture of God as the great vineyard keeper. He is watching out for us. He is being very intentional and careful about our lives. Can I ask you today, as you think ahead about your promise and your potential, about your purposes and your plans, about your true productivity in life, where does the great gardener or the great vineyard keeper figure in all of those? Maybe it's time to let God grow you and shape you into new wine.